I'm experiencing my first ever hurricane down south in my life.
Hi, I'm Will. I spent my 20s living in a boring area with not much to do, and so I decided to pack up and travel the world through Airbnbs while working a remote job. I was willing to do whatever it took to live a more fulfilling and enriching life. Join me on my adventure, turmoils, trials, and tribulations.
And here's the thing, I chose not to evacuate. So I'm not near the coast, and Hurricane Ian at the time last night was only Category 3. It was expected not to hit Florida much, and last night and this morning they only said to evacuate zones A and B, which are basically very close to the coast. Now, I'm currently residing in Zone E, and it should still be fine, but now it's straight into a Category 4. Bridges are closed leaving. I'm in Sarasota, and it seems to be hitting here and Tampa hardest for now. But in theory, although there's a lot of fear mongering on the news, let's check it out. It's just a lot of very violent winds and some rain. So let's check it out. It's loud. So over here it's not that violent, but I'll film some other areas. It's getting more and more violent. At least the wind is.
So the hurricane is here, and this is the net effect. Lots of strong winds, moderately strong rain, trees bending. It's my first ever hurricane experience, so we'll see how it goes. So far it's been a little scary. Power's been going in and out, but the internet's been generally stable. We only lost it maybe 3 or 4 times for about 5 minutes. So we'll see what happens. There's bottled water in the freezer, and yeah.
So shortly after, the internet and power cut off and did not come back on again until a few days after, when it was all over and done with and people repaired the power and internet.
We're at the aftermath of the hurricane. It lasted a day, cut off power last afternoon around 3 p.m. And basically people are just cleaning up their yards. Some have shears, some have, I saw a guy with a chainsaw, and they're just cutting off and taking all the dead branches and trees in their yard. I've seen fences that have flown off and so forth. But you know, it wasn't as bad as expected. While it did hit the coast pretty hard, we were a bit more inland, about 20 miles. So we were in a non-evac zone. And yeah, you can tell like fences and stuff like this one have just been taken out. But it is what it is.
On my way back on the walk, several police cars blocked the area I was going back to. There's apparently a domestic abuse thing with this drunk, coked out guy who was waving a gun at his girlfriend. This guy was 70 years old, and they trained like several cops to like point a gun at him until he came out. Now there was no power, so we barbecued on some charcoal, and yeah, we weren't the only ones. Everyone else was doing it. The grocery stores were filled, and as a little bonus, I found a donut shop that was still open that had cinnamon toast crunch donuts. And that was a nice treat, but don't